Hello guys and welcome to episode 5 of my Endless Legend playthrough playing as the Forgotten. And I think in this episode we are going to continue with our faction quest, of course, because in the last episode we actually infiltrated Am, and the idea of that is to not only complete the faction quest but also to reveal what the necrophages are doing, so that we can judge whether or not we need to focus primarily on military. Also, it will help us explore the lands, because we need to find new nations in order to peace out with them and get the Thawing of Relations quest done in the top right for the Sisters of Mercy army. So that's the plan, at least. I don't want to end my turn next to that settlement, so I'm probably just going to leave that army there, and we'll get this Predator to move to Vakal. Currently we have 2 Predators in Vakal after building a couple in the last episode, and we're now going to build another one in Vakal to make 4, and then we're going to send that army to one of the Jota's settlements and hopefully use the militia as reinforcements again. So let's end the turn there. And look at this, there is a lot of wonderful anomalies down here. If we get the tile outputs up in a second, it might be worth me travelling down here in order to take advantage of that. So the massive tree gives us food, production and dust. The life tree would give us food and dust. And the dragon tree, that doesn't give us as much as it would because of the science. So they have closed their borders to us now, the necrophages. And we have reached level 2 in Infiltration with our hero. So let's actually go down here. We've discovered haunts. And what I'm going to try and do is search this ruin. That is a very nice place for a settlement. Maybe not even on top of it. Maybe just like on this tile here. No, it would definitely be better to start on the life tree tile, I think, with a settlement in that region there. So we might think about doing that. We also need to think about whether or not we want to get a settlement in Averelia. Because that will complete a quest that gives us 160 dust. Which isn't a lot, but could come in handy in order to help our technology along. So we've got that to consider. Let's end the turn anyway. And yeah, that's definitely a good region down below us. But I want to find out what the necrophages are doing first. So another Predator finished, and we're going to select all of them and create a new army and travel straight up to this Jota's settlement. This assassin can search that ruin. And if we search those temple ruins with a infantry hero level 4 minimum, then we get the Shard of Icarareal, which requires 15 Palladian, I think that is, in order to be equipped. And that's a one-hand sword, so we could have 2 of those on my heroes, which is awesome, and that is a very cool looking sword. Also has Infantry Slayer, which is useful against most nations. Wow. So what location is that? That will be very easy to complete actually when we want to. But I'm going to have to wait until we've got the Infiltration level 3 on my hero first. 50 dust from that other temple ruin. And if we continue, not much else here, but another spice deposit. Worth considering, for sure. Okay, let's end the turn. And it's gone to winter. Okay, hopefully that will slow down the necrophages if they're coming towards me. I don't think they are at the moment though. This does actually slow down the exploration of this assassin though, which is quite annoying. And finally there's glass steel encarad. Wine booster has ended, which is annoying because winter just kicked in. So as you can see, we've gone from like plus 81 dust to minus 17. Let's take out this Jota settlement. That should be nice and easy. So let's auto this. And we got 50 dust. We can also build that settlement now, so let's add that to the queue. We will put it just after the canal system. And that will end the turn. Okay. Might be worth moving a few population over to dust just to keep us level on dust for now. But the canal system finished there, and the spice extractor. So soon we should have enough spice again in order to boost our population. We require 25 and we currently have 17. And with 2 coming in per turn now, that should be able to be used very shortly. So we no longer need to go further down here. So I'm going to come back across and go down. Right. Seems we're on like a sort of maybe an island here. It's cut off on both sides. Well, it's not really an island, it's more of like a continent. So the dust problem getting even worse each turn. And with that canal system finished, the Jota settlement will take 3 turns. We failed the quest in order to be at war in the next so many turns, so we missed out on that, but that's fine. And my hero has leveled up to level 5. So what I'm actually going to do now is get the double or nothing perk upgraded to get the extra seniority bonus. And basically the seniority, if we go into the infiltration here, what it does is over time make it easier for us to do actions in a particular settlement with that specific hero. So as long as she stays in that settlement, it will get easier and easier for her to do actions basically. Okay, that's not very good. Maybe we can still deal with that though. Oh, they aren't getting reinforcements, so we'll just auto-resolve that. That's wonderful. And we can move on to the next turn. After we've moved our assassin. So it looks like all of my settlements now are getting up to speed. Starting to build a predator in Galarath. Bolster our forces quite significantly. We can also attack this Jota settlement this turn. I don't think we'll have the reinforcements off of the militia, but we should still be able to auto-resolve it and not lose a single unit. Bravo! So 50 dust there. And that's the last Jota settlement in Vakal wiped out. So now we'll head down to Ursay and start doing the same to the settlements owned by whoever's here, the Goran. Okay. We need to add the second settlement to the queue. we shall get even more population. So let's not end the turn next to the village there so that our stealth doesn't get broken. And we will continue. So far so good. We have one Predator finished. In Vakal, our militia have leveled up as well. So that Predator can head down to Ursay and can be used in a reinforcement army to attack the villages. There is an unspoiled ruin there, so let's search that. And we got a piece of equipment, an item, or insignia that can only be equipped by heroes and gives us Ghost Force, which is the ability that our units can get anyway, but would be useful if we had an army composed of neutral units, or assimilated units. It's probably a better way to put it. So hopefully not too many more turns. Yeah, one turn until our infiltration level goes up. That will complete the quest. So let's move straight on to that next turn and see what happens. So one Jota settlement complete. And our quest has continued. So we got a reward of 40 influence. Our next objective is to search the indicated unspoiled ruins, and we get an extra hero. So it looks like we're going to have to head back over there, guys. And how am I going to do this? What was the actual quest? Do I need to do it specifically with a hero or something? Here we go. Oh, we just have to search them. Okay. So I'll just take the assassin over there. Hopefully we won't need an army in order to complete the quest. We do have level 3 infiltration now though. So let's steal vision. And we got steal vision level 3. Spy was unnoticed. Okay. So this is going to reveal a lot of the map to us, I think. Wow, the necrophages have gone down quite far here. But we can see one army there. We can see an army just here and an army here. That's not including all of their cities. So they don't actually have too many units, but they have quite a few armies. They've got 1, 2, 3 armies, and they aren't really anywhere near me, so that's okay. We can work with that. Might be worth me attacking them as well. Maybe taking over their capital and moving down and destroying the rest of their armies, especially if we can see them coming. So we've found a new faction because of that. We can complete our faction quest soon. And infiltration level 1 for our spy. So, only 3 turns now until the next infiltration level, and seniority 6. And basically what happens is the infiltration rate of the spy will be faster every time that number gets higher. So, anyway, let's move on. A lot of these side quests we should maybe think about completing. And unfortunately, the influence on anomalies has finished. Construction has been complete, and summer is back. Okay, that's pretty good. We've also just bumped into the Seratan. And knowing where their units are is actually going to allow me to like pillage their villages and so on. and continue to avoid their armies. So let's get this Predator into Ursay. These Predators can make their way down. In Galarath, we have a Predator there. We're going to add another one to the queue to be built after the Borough Street. The Canal Lock is now being complete in Vikal. And all this production bonus will get even better. That will be a massive boost to us, actually. Right, let's continue towards this ruin. Should be able to search it next turn. And we can go into their lands, even though we have closed borders, because our units are stealthed. Unless he finds us, in which case he can just kick us out again. And we have quite a lot of dust. So let's actually upgrade or get technologies to unlock tier 2 weapons and armor. That will take one more turn and we can get that. Then we can start to actually use some of the titanium and glass steel that we have on our units. So we are continuing to do well, I think. And I'm glad the necrophages aren't coming towards me just yet. It looks like a necrophage army was actually just destroyed, which is good. And we are being pillaged. Not good. Let's take out this settlement anyway. And we can probably just auto-resolve that. Oh, we lost the Predator in our settlement. How did that happen? Oh well, that's not too bad. We can now build the Goran settlement here, which will give us an extra population. We should probably build it first. And then I need to build another Predator now. Okay. Well, at least my main army is still like full health. So that's okay. Population of Vakau has grown to 8. Infiltration level 2 for my hero. And we can now use the spices booster, so let's use that. Should help the population of my settlements quite significantly, especially if we actually start to put population into food. Yeah, let's do that so we actually get a new population soon in Vikal. Let's search this ruin and see what happens with the faction quest. Doesn't look like we had to attack anything. We just completed the quest outright. Now you know where in the ruins of Am, Zaima and the others are. To free them, search the indicated ruins. Our reward was the hero. And at the outcome, you find Zaima, broken but alive. Of the others, there is no sign. We are still the power in the shadows, she whispers as you unshackle her from her imprisoning irons. A desire for vengeance. This is the third part of our quest. I should feel relief and happiness upon seeing Zaima back in our midst, and I do. But those emotions are eclipsed by much more powerful feelings. Feelings of rage and frustration. A desire for vengeance. Though Zaima is broken and a remnant of her former self, even in her weakened state, I see that same glimmer in her eye. She cannot yet talk of who her captors were, nor for what purpose they tortured her. That will come in time. For now, I must do everything in my power to rebuild her strength. Of Ala, the third pillar of our trinity, I hear whispers that she wandered from Dagari Tanga in a fever, her body found in the wilderness. If true, the Forgotten have lost a great leader. We will honour her by forging the greatest Forgotten civilization ever to grace Origa, one able to withstand, perhaps even flourish, in the grim winter that comes. Zaima's dual swords, Shadowbinder and Shadowbrand, lie broken, exactly as we found them beside her slumped body. When her strength has returned, we will find a way to make them whole again. She will need them to have her vengeance. So the summary is Zaima is a pale shadow of her former self after her incarceration and torture. You must send her out into the world to rebuild her strength and reforge her swords, Shadowbinder and Shadowbrand. We need to start rebuilding Zaima's power by unlocking the skill double or nothing at level 2. I think we already did that, didn't we? Or do we need to do it with Zaima? I think we need to do it with Zaima specifically. Because yeah, we already have it with Gula Yawa. So let's maybe infiltrate a city with her. Let's see what settlements we can infiltrate. This one is easier to infiltrate, so we'll do that. And since we have quite a lot of influence, we can make use of that. So Zaima has infiltrated. We will use that to level her up. She's only level 1 at the moment, so I don't expect she has any skill points. No, she doesn't. But she is a fast learner, so she gets plus 25% to XP gains. Great. So we've viewed that. We can now get the Goran. And they actually have quite a nice bonus for the plus 5% life. And the Ursies are quite good as well, with the plus 5 building production cost, but we only have 1 settlement for them. And I want to keep the Sisters of Mercy for now, but just because they have such a good quest. Right, we need to get down here and deal with that village, then we can deal with the pillaging army, which I think is a roaming army. Vakal has grown to 8. Population will be 9 in 6 turns. And yeah, that's it. So let's move on to the next turn after moving this assassin. Let's go and just pillage this glass steel extractor. Okay, let's end the turn there. That might piss off the necrophages, but we can see where their armies are, so we can see if they come over and try and stop us. Okay, I say that just as it runs out. We note that the resources we forged have turned up in your hands. Yeah, well, too bad. Are we going to be attacked? Yes, we are. So what we're going to do is retreat. We can't. Pillaging armies cannot retreat. Did not know that. So we've just lost a unit, I believe. I'm going to have to fight this. Yeah, we lost the unit. That's too bad. Didn't think that they would actually even be able to see my army, let alone not allow it to retreat. So that's my bad. Let's get this technology for our chemical allies. And I'm going to see what I can do about upgrading my units again. So we have a lot of Predators. Let's see if we can upgrade them with a nice bow. So the tier 2 bow for titanium gives us 18 damage to initiative. Tier 2 glass steel one gives us extra initiative and less damage. We definitely want more damage. What about the bow? I think the titanium bow is the best one. And if we apply that, then we can retrofit all of our predators to have that bow and deal a lot more damage. So that's going to take 22 titanium and 21 dust. That is absolutely fine. Right, let's actually walk to this tile. And maybe what we can do is attack this roaming army in the next turn. I was going to try and take the Predator out of say an attack, but I can't because the Predator is dead. Let's remove that from the queue and add the new one. And we will do the same here. Any queued Predators basically need to be reassigned to the queue. And that's all. What I'm going to do is continue to expand this settlement, probably on this tile just here, because that gives us the most production and will allow us to build military units even quicker. And the reason I'm focusing on military units is because I want to deal with the necrophages sooner than later. So that's going to be the plan. Once we get infiltration level 3, I will look at the armies again. That's only going to be in 4 turns. Meanwhile, Zaima is getting experience per turn, which is wonderful. So let's end the turn here. Move on to the next one. I'm going to save up for alchemical armor so that we can get titanium and glass steel armor as well. Okay, this army is moving away, so let's just attack the settlement. They should come out in as reinforcements, maybe. If not, let me just get another free pacification. Brilliant. And also my Predators leveled up. And 70 dust as well. Not too shabby. So we'll add the next Goran settlement to the queue. And move that up as a priority. Fantastic. So I might want to get another assassin in order to explore, but I think I'll leave it for now. Let's end the turn there. And 6 turns until the next Empire plan. Let's get this Predator down to the pillaging army now, in order to stop that. And we shall auto-resolve. And another Predator has leveled up. Took quite a lot of damage from that fight though, but it stops the pillaging, which is good. Next up we want to take out this last village. And Ursay will boost in population quite significantly from all of this. And we will have another powerful settlement. Then I want to put a new settler in Kadred, or Kared, over here with all these anomalies. But for now guys, unfortunately, that has been my time. So I am going to have to leave it here, and I think we have quite a lot to look forward to in this campaign, especially with the big war with the necrophages. But we'll see how viable that is in the next episode, I'm sure, once we reveal the armies again. But for now guys, that's all. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.